Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jess and this is my channel. Alright y'all, so we are currently just getting ready to go for our run. We got a progression run today, so we got that, but right now I'm just waiting on my breakfast to get done heating up. I have to have some oatmeal for the carbs, and then but this video is going to be talking about, and we're going to be talking about strength training for runners, strength training for hybrid athletes. And the reason why I want to talk about this specifically and give you guys the tools and the resources is so that you guys stay injury free. You guys stay injury free. You guys are increasing your performance, and as well just maintaining the strength and the quality in training is top part. So we'll be talking about that. Like I said, we're about to get our run in, and it's a longer run, so I will see y'all in a little bit at the gym, because I quite frankly don't want to hold a GoPro right now. Sorry, but that's just reality. Okay, I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, y'all, so tip number one that I have for strength training is making sure that you get a proper warm-up, whether it's a body weight warm-up, whether it's riding the bike, whether that is bands, something that's going to get your tissue temperature nice and warm, but also turn on your central nervous system to get you nice and prepped for what you are wanting to do for that workout. So what I just got done with obviously is my run, so my tissue temperature, and I did a warm-up prior to my run. I did bands and stuff. So right now I'm just going to go through just a simple activation for the legs, and then from there I'm going to give you my 3 top exercises for just building and strengthening areas that you will need strengthened for hybrid training. All right, y'all. The first exercise that I love to incorporate into my training is the Bulgarian split squat. The reason why I like to incorporate this is it is a unilateral movement, but it also focuses on glute, hamstring, quad, as well as balance. So hitting all the muscle groupings that are needed for running, for sprinting, for jumping and moving in a multi-directional movement as well. So first thing that you're going to do is find a bench, box, whatever you have, and from here you're going to make sure that first thing that you want is obviously a good foot placement, making sure you have 3 points of contact. You have your big toe, pinky, and your heel contacted to the ground. From here, if you want to activate a little bit more of the glute or the hamstring, you're going to do a slight little hinge at the hip, and then you're going to come straight down. You want to make sure your knees and your toes are nice straight line. You don't want to be too far in front. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to get 8 of those. One of the reasons why I love this is it really forces you to activate your foot. And without our feet, we can't jump, we can't run, we can't do things that require us to move, walk. And so activating the foot and the ankle is just not only going to make the foundation of your body a lot more efficient, but it's going to allow you to stabilize and hit different muscle groupings that you don't normally hit. So hit that other side, and I like to do about 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. If I'm going for more of a power day, then I'll move this movement into a more explosive movement. But that is the first exercise, and that is Bulgarian split squat. All right, y'all, the next one that I like to do is for your hamstrings as well as your glutes. So a lot of athletes are very quad dominant, and so a lot of hamstring strains are due to either over force production in the hamstring, which forces it to kind of pull, a lack of strength, and a lack of mobility and flexibility. So it's essentially like a really, really tight rubber band, and it just pops. So something that I know for myself that I try to incorporate is a lot of hamstring work. Not only are hamstrings really important for sprinting, jumping, and propelling us forward, but it also is a great tool to put into your program to emphasize but also have a benefit to your performance. So one thing that I like to do is elevated glute bridges or single leg glute bridge, or holds, depending on the time that I am in my training block. So if I want to do more of eccentric or isometric work, I'm going to do more holds, time under tension. If I'm doing more of the concentric or power phase, then I will do more of a explosive movement. So doesn't matter the elevation that you use, just make sure that you are elevated. Now, the biggest thing that I will say is make sure that you continue contact through the hips, not necessarily contact on the bench, but main contact through the hips. So let me explain. So first things first, you're going to get up here on the bench. Make sure you're close enough. I like to make sure that when I show this or have my athletes or myself, I'm at a 90-degree angle with my legs. From here, I'm going to have my heel into the bench. Now, you could do single leg, you could do bilateral. I like to go single just to make sure that I have a full activation from each of my hamstrings and my glutes. From here, I'm going to have my opposite leg in the air. And from here, I'm going to attack or hip extend my hips up to the ceiling. Boom. And then back down. Now, a lot of times what I see is athletes will just do this, okay? You want that full extension at the top. And to get that full extension at the top, you're attacking that heel into the bench and driving those hips up to the ceiling. So that is another great tool that you can incorporate into your programming is Bulgarian split squats as well as elevated glute bridges. All right, y'all. So a third one that I like to incorporate, and it goes back to the overall foot contact and foot activation. And this is actually two, so 3 and 4 exercises is a single leg balance as well as big toe mobility. So big toe mobility has an effect on just everyday movement, how you run, how you squat, how you jump, and it's not an area that's talked about enough. And so over the past couple months and year or two, when I finished up my master's program, was I did a lot of research with big toe mobility and how it affects overall movement. And when you have a lack of movement in a joint or an area, it's going to cause other areas to compensate. So whether that's your arch, whether that's your tibia anterior or posterior, or your calf or your hamstring or your quad. Everything is a chain, and that's why it's called the posterior chain, because everything is connected. So one thing that I love to work on is big toe mobility, and the simplest thing that you can work on is being in a split squat position here. And from here, the back toe, you're going to essentially roll your foot into the big toe and try to get more movement through that joint. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, but I'm rolling from the outside, inside, and essentially just opening up that joint. You can even do this from like a lunging standpoint. You can do that. You can do it from a calf raising standpoint, like my left big toe. Over the years, I've had turf toe many times in this foot. So a lot of times I can feel like the lack of range of motion in that area, and it almost feels like it needs to pop. So that's a big one, is really focusing on your big toe mobility will assist, but also will make areas in your performance enhanced, okay? And the fourth one is, like I said, single leg balance. Now, single leg balance doesn't just have to be, boring and trying to balance, but adding and incorporating different things such as a reach. Making sure, again, 3 points of contact, or essentially 4 points of contact, your big toe, pinky, midfoot, and heel are on the ground. You can do a reach, drive through. You can do I call it the star drill or clock drill. Okay, I have my athletes do all types of different ones. You can even do jumping and stabilize. You can even do a more plyometric movement. Okay, but my favorite is either on the ground or a balance pad, and you're doing a reach, because you're doing 2 for 1. You're not only working on ankle, but you're working on an RDL movement and using the hamstring and hinging at the hip. And again, you're really just activating that foot and working on the proprioception of the muscle grouping. So those are my 4 exercises. There's a million exercises that you can incorporate, which I'll continue to give you guys resources and tools on, but those are my 4 main things and exercises that you can incorporate to help enhance your performance. Now, again, beginning of the video and this section is make sure you properly warm up. Don't be that idiot that doesn't warm up and then wonders why they're hurt all the time. Properly warm up, properly fuel your body, and make sure that you are fired up and your central nervous system is awake to be able to do the demands that you want your body to do on a daily basis. So I'm going to finish out my workout. I am going to finish out legs today, and then I will see you guys in a little bit. So hope you enjoyed this section. I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, beautiful people, we are back from our lift, and I wanted to give you guys some tips and some resources to incorporate into your strength training that I've seen help benefit me, but also my athletes and my clients that I train as well. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach out, feel free to leave a comment. And as always, like, subscribe, share with your mom, share with your granny. I don't care who you share with, just always support the brand. And I will see y'all in the next video. And always remember, love, peace, chicken grease. Peace.